Okay, we're live. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 50 Shades of Red at Night. I'm your host, Naomi Minhas. We have Tommy with us tonight, and we have Saul G.
Good
And
evening.
we will be discussing the top six 2020 Democratic candidates. Thank you to Rolling Stone for providing us with these brief synopses that we're going to share with you guys. Give you a little perspective on who the top candidates are in order of. I think they pre-voted. They did a pre-voting poll or something like that, and this is how they stacked up.
Quick question: did Rolling Stone do this in order, or is this just a popular?
This is the order by
How
popular opinion.
okay.
And by what people are saying, in the media, what people are saying, I guess in these mock voting scenarios and things like that. So we're going to start off with this PowerPoint. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Give me a second and we'll get down to it. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let me just, I'm trying to make it full screen. Okay. All right. First up, the top number one pick, California Senate, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, Jamaican father, Indian and Black mother, or is her mother full Indian? I don't know. But she's a 54-year-old senator who battled big banks and for-profit college as California's attorney general. She stands beside the tectonic plates. Oh, wow, this is deep. Of Democratic Party. She's an established politician who has adopted a platform responsive to the passion of the grassroots, advocating for Medicare for all, free college, criminal justice reform. Black women are the heart of the Democratic Party, and seeing themselves reflected in the Howard University educated Harris could give her an advantage in a field chock full of white men. A straw poll asked I don't know what that is. Something politics that ranked their top three presidential contenders, and she appeared on 71% of the ballot. It's also important to note that she used to be a DA and did, I believe, sex crimes and drug trafficking prior to getting into politics. So she does have a pretty well-rounded background as far as being a professional and kind of knowing about the law, which would make her, I guess, a good politician. However, I think it would hinder her that she knows so much about the law aspect of everything, almost kind of like what they said about Trump with business. It would make her a little power hungry. I mean, that's my opinion. So they make it pretty clear in this article and all the articles I pulled on her that she's the go-to Black woman's vote. This is when they didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, this is who they vote for. This is the new Black woman's face. She's going to make sure that from now on, the president is going to be a Black woman. All the people who know her are women of color, and that's her overall goal. You guys have any remarks on her?
Yeah. So what the opinion is, or the polls say, is that the next female, if there is a female president, this would be the candidate here.
Yes.
Kamala Harris. And then it's almost like having another Barack Obama kind of situation.
That's exactly the vibe I got.
Right.
The exact vibe I got. And people were very opinionated after Obama left, saying that Obama wasn't the Black president they thought he would be. So
and the irony, not to cut you, I'm sorry to cut you off. The irony of it is they show her ethnicity in the background with the Indian parent and Jamaican parent, as they did with Obama's parents.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a string running through both of these situations. It's just funny how that came to. It's probably if I don't believe she will make it, but if by some reason that she did, she's going to be scrutinized the same way Obama was, by his background and platforms and things like that. It's not to knock Barack Obama, but it's just interesting to see the parallels of her background
and I think her platform of free college, criminal justice reform, and Medicare for all says a lot. I'm just curious as to why she wasn't a part of the criminal justice reform that President Trump just handed out for the Black community. I wonder where her stance was on that.
What interests me is what demographic would benefit from the free college. You can't just give everyone free college. How is that in detail going to work? Yeah, absolutely. That and that issue out front. I mean, Who qualifies for that? Free college.
Well,
It's so bland, you know.
minorities will qualify.
Right. And then you'll have the argument and the challenges from those who have to pay, like me, you, and every, you know, even with scholarships or partial, whatever we have.
Well, I think
Um,
it's a fun thought to say free college for everyone until you read the fine print. And then you
Absolutely.
realize it's free college for minorities who don't work, who don't have children, who are under in a certain age gap, you
Right.
know, or maybe older adults who are going back to school,
Uh,
who meet an income requirement. I'd be curious to know the fine print of this free college platform that she's advocating for.
right. And not to beat up on it too thoroughly, but the funny part about it is that what if they give it to students who aren't academically inclined? I mean,
Exactly. Is
if
that
you
a
hear
part?
free, yeah, if you hear free college and you think, okay, that can, I'm not knocking the betterment of anyone, but simply that it isn't a dynamic that everybody can handle or may do well in. You know, some people may just skate through it. Some people,
Well, and does
what
that
if you get it and you drop out of it? Then that's money
that's
wasted.
what I was about to say. That's exactly what
Yeah.
I was about to say. So dropout rates are going to drastically increase.
Hmm.
And I'm just thinking about med school. Now, everyone who's ever wanted to go to med school is going to go because of the money is going to go. And not
Right.
everyone's cut out to be a doctor, you
Right.
know. So, but now these schools are going to be eligible to take a lot of people. How does that
Hmm.
work for admissions? That's going to make admissions tough as hell, you know. So I don't know. I think it's a double-edged sword. Solomon, did you have any
Yeah.
thoughts on her?
Yeah, I think once again, the if she's going to be rolled out again as supposedly the not like as a black woman, I just think that she's not. I don't know if you saw. Did you see that thing that disaster that she did on was it Colbert,
Mm-mm.
where it was like her playlist?
No.
Oh my God, I'm gonna find it. It was so bad, and it was like, oh, because it's like I don't understand why we keep having presidential candidates who are not really quote unquote relatable. You know what I mean? Like she was like, oh, look at me, I'm the relatable one. Here's my playlist, and she started to like try to attempt this song, and it was so bad. She seemed so out of touch,
What
and it
song
was.
was it?
I can't remember. I just remember like listening to it, like she really looked like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm really trying to be cool. It kind of reminded me of the white girl from Save the Last Dance, where she was like, "Oh yeah, are you cool now?" She's like, "Yeah, you're getting there." That's what she reminded me of, like, "Oh, let me do something cool and play some music, and oh, I'm cool and I'm relatable." But it was
her
so
book.
fake.
I
Yeah.
got through the first 30 pages of it. And right off the bat, it came off as I'm an underdog. I'm just like you. I'm a minority. But nothing in her childhood really screamed struggle or like, I had to fight for this. And it just didn't seem like she really was relatable at all, to be
And
honest.
that wouldn't click with the average Joe or the blue collar or the no collar.
I could see if she had an afro and darker skin. No, like appearance wise, I could see that, I could even see if she was a Claire Huxtable, you know what I'm saying? But she doesn't, in all the pictures I pull up of her, she doesn't advocate a family image or anything like that. And Obama did. That's what he ran on, like the family man,
Right.
It was hard to find pictures of her with her family and things like that, even though she uses them so much to talk about her background. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So the next person is Elizabeth Warren, senator of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Almost every picture I tried to pull up of her looked like this, just FYI. Warren was the first top tier candidate out of the gate, launching a presidential exploratory committee on the last day of 2018. She surges in her rankings. Her campaign forays in Iowa and New Hampshire have been eagerly attended, and she's debuted as a passable talking point on her DNA debacle. Quote, I am not a person of color. I am not a citizen of a tribe. Quote, she said, tribal citizenship is very different from ancestry. Quote, The Massachusetts Senator 69 brings trademark policy chalks to the race with an ambitious progressive agenda on everything from foreign policy and pharmaceuticals to student debt and political corruption. Unlike Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders, I like how they did that, who idolizes Eugene Debs, Warren is a capitalist at heart, but has made a career trying to make it less cruel for working people.
Yeah, hey Naomi, you want to see this I know we done got the Elizabeth Warren. Do you want to see this disaster real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this is once again like I said, when you try to have people come off as being relatable, and then they come off as being like just the worst. So yeah, here it is right here. Like, yes, I got her in a bad freeze, but whatever. All right, so watch this right here. This is so bad. Hold on, let me make it full screen. All right, here we go.
Oh my!
It starts off looking bad.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? I can't see it.
It says mood mix.
Oh, you can't see it? Hold up.
Song that makes me dance.
It literally disappeared off my screen.
Oh, and look at the font on the words.
There's a font?
Like some kid, like the kid wrote this. Songs that make me dance.
Can you see it, Tommy?
Yeah, I can see it.
How do you
And it has a crystal ball on one side. And it has songs that make me dance and bold yellow kind of font that's kind of kiddie. Like,
yeah, maybe it's
really weird.
Hold on.
Or did someone else write that?
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube too.
I see it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I was gonna wonder why you couldn't see it. Okay, yeah. Dang it. All right, come on.
That blazer is terrible.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
The 80s wants it back.
Yeah, it's bad. Oh, my bad. Wrong place. Here we go. All right.
Check the Rhyme, A Tribe Called Quest.
Turn the volume up.
Oh, this is her list of songs. Okay.
Yes.
Turn the volume up.
Purple Rain.
Remember we used to always watch Purple Rain?
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got it all the way up now. Hold on.
Wow.
Shallow by Lady Gaga.
Song for a cookout. Why the cartoon like delivery? I wonder. Beyonce's Lemonade. Songs that lift my spirits.
Who made these graphics?
Yeah, that's what I'm stunned by. Oh, Happy Day.
She's listening to
Stand By
every day.
Song to play loud. Is there a song that you don't play loud? I'm just, for an intelligent woman, it
this is
sparks some really weird.
Reggae. Okay.
Oh no, not the real HU, baby. I can't let that.
Push it.
Salt and Pepper.
That's different. Maybe she's just corny, y'all. Maybe she's just a corny person.
She's not what I'm sensing out of this is that she's not in touch. No. And she's trying to, but she's going years back.
I like how she says from Oakland, anything by Seashore. No way.
Yeah. Oakland. And so she's going retroactive with her picks. I'm not saying that we don't like songs that we hadn't heard in the past.
Nah, yeah.
But for her platform right now and for 2020, she's saying, I mean, what demographic is she pointing this to?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm really confused.
Presidential song? Why should it be some ghetto? Yeah.
One Nation Under a Groove.
That's
How old is she? She's 54, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she acts old. She don't even have no rhythm. I mean, she looks like she's having fun though. I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah, but someone should have really quarterbacked this for her prior to putting it out there. I think it's really a cheesy attempt.
It was very
to draw in the kind of like an urban kind of demographic if what I'm thinking, but that was an interesting thing. I didn't see that. That was really interesting.
All right, I'm curious, Solomon. I feel like you probably know more about this Elizabeth statement saying that she's not a person of color. I'm not a citizen of a tribe. See, for me, that's offensive because my husband is a citizen of a tribe.
For my clarity, before you get started, Solomon, tribal. She has here. What does it say? Tribal citizenship. What exactly is that? for those who don't know, and for myself.
So from the perspective that I got from Ray is tribal citizenship. So Ray has a little card that you have to get tested for that says that you are Native American. That entitles you to that tribe, to that piece of land, to that reservation. So I think that's what she's referring to. I mean, at least that's what Ray tells me.
Wow.
And she's saying tribal citizenship is very different from ancestry. I'm curious on what she means by that. How is it different if it's your roots?
Yeah, I think the it's almost like I wish there was, whoever wrote this, I wish there was like a big duh after it, because like you're not a person of color. We know that. You know what I'm saying? And then she's saying like she's not the citizen of a tribe. Yeah, we can look at you and tell that. You know what I mean? So it's a situation where it's not.
So this is what it says, right? I pulled it up. She says that tribal citizenship is a DNA that proves ancestry.
But also she's saying in the sentence it's different.
So she's saying, no. She's saying she's a Native American. It says Senator Elizabeth Warren does have Native American ancestry, but she is not enrolled in a tribe, so she does not have tribal citizenship. Her family was never enrolled in a tribe.
I see.
Tribal citizenship requires a person to complete their genealogical research, document their ancestry, and determine which tribe their ancestor was affiliated. So she is running. I'm confused because if she's Native American, like she says she is, she's a person of color.
Right. But
she's
saying
not saying because she doesn't want people to attack her for not being darker.
Right.
Because I know plenty of Native American women that are super light like her. They look white almost. I mean, you wouldn't know they were Native American until they told you, you know. So I'm really confused about this. It's like she wants to play identity politics, but she wants to reverse back a little so she doesn't get hit with the slander. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say bullshit that she's Native American. Because if she was, she would have just got tested like Ray did to get the card and to get the benefits of being Native American.
So, guys, what demographic do you think she's targeting towards with these statements?
Or why would she even bring it up?
I mean, what support basis does she want that to be strong? Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is which demographic she's really targeting after to support her.
No, liberal white women. That's the only target audience she has.
Why would she bring up being Native American? That doesn't make any sense.
Because wait, time out. Who loves minorities more than liberal white women?
That is true.
This is what I think. When I compare her to Hillary Clinton, which I'm sure her handlers did, they probably put her up next to Hillary Clinton's stats and said, how can we differentiate you from Clinton? And she said, oh, I know, because I'm technically a person of color. But we can't say that because I'm not dark enough.
Yeah, but see, Hillary was doing the hot sauce, doing the church. Elizabeth Warren's not doing that. She's trying to appeal to the, white man is bad. I know. I could kind of go with that, the kind of going to the minority thing because, the white man is bad. Remember, I'm somewhat of a Native American. They did bad things to my people as well. So I could get you from that, but she's not, to me, pandering for the black vote in a Hillary Clinton manner. You understand what I'm saying? I think she's trying to make herself seem like she's quote unquote, because I remember they had that whole look at me drinking a beer. She's now trying.
I've seen the video with her husband, and he's like, and everybody, all the conservatives bashed her because the husband says, do you want a beer? And he goes, no. And they said, what grown man turns down a beer?
I mean, it's just, to me, it's just the one thing I really, really is starting to despise in politics are the pandering. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if
that was a white woman pander to get the white women to, hey, I drink a beer with my husband when we watch I drink beers with my husband when I watch.
Yeah, while we watch it's almost like that part in Coming to America. I watch, I drink a beer while I watch the pigskin.
Or more or less, or moreover, it's like All in the Family throwback. With Edith Funke running into Archie with the beer while he sits in his favorite chair. And that stereotypical kind of position.
White America.
She's like, exactly.
But technically, But didn't her husband open the beer for her? Didn't he? Didn't he get the beer?
He brought her the
gave
beer.
her the beer, right? Yeah, isn't that kind of going against the societal norms?
Well, her husband gives gay vibes. I'm just gonna say it. He does.
Yeah, her husband does seem kind of homosexual.
He gives down low, metro, bi, something gay vibes. Just
so
and I say
she
that in the least homophobic way possible.
so she wears the pants in the family, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. I'm watching too much Trump. I just did this.
Oh, big! Are you doing the big league, huh? Yeah, I just think that Elizabeth Warren is a. I mean, to me, I think the first two to me are really bad. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
Yeah, I do.
I know they want a woman winner, but these aren't it. Next up, okay. I didn't know who Sherrod Brown was. I thought he was a black man.
I know. Sherrod. I don't think that's his real name. I think
it can't be. And I'm telling you, there's going to be people who don't know who he is, who see him on a ballot and go, "Oh, that's a black man."
Correct.
And now he's white. No one's going to figure this out. This is the smartest thing
I've ever.
Well,
they could if they do what we're doing, and others just dig them up.
We talked about this in one of the podcasts last month. No one looks everyone up when they vote. We talked about this exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wait. For a second, don't he kind of in this picture? Don't he kind of look like he could be like related to George Bush Jr.?
He does.
He looks like a Bush family member.
He looks like a Bush.
Yeah.
He's pretty. He's pretty handsome to be the age that he is.
Well, maybe they get all of these people in to help style you because of your public appearance look, and maybe someone reflected that you look like a Bush, and maybe you'll get those Bush type votes along the way to help you get into office.
I'm just going to read his thing real quick. He's a senior senator from Ohio. He announced he'll be traveling to the early voting states on a dignity of work tour. That's really a unique phrase to call his platform. He's vowed to make a decision on a 2020 run within a couple of months. So he has. A proven Democratic winner in Reading, Ohio, Brown is skilled at debunking the lies Trump tells to Trump country and able to connect with working class voters who are white and of color. I think it's funny that they made sure to put that in there. In a recent interview with the Washington Post, Brown touted a proposal to boost the incomes of 47 million lower wage Americans with a 1.4 trillion expansion of the earned income tax. That's not going to be good. A wage subsidy. So he's doing what Obama did. Okay. Like Sanders, he's a champion of labor and a precedent critic of the dangers of unfettered free trade. The 66-year-old voice may be raspy and his wardrobe rumpled, but Brown is a persuasive campaigner and his wife is a Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist. Oh, so that's a plus. I like educated people. I like that the wife is smart. If he was smart, he'd put the wife up there with him everywhere he went because women like a smart woman.
But what's with the rumpled wardrobe?
He must look a mess.
What is he trying to?
He must
he's too good to use iron.
It would send a vibe out to me that he's just a sloppy guy. Maybe he runs sloppy politics.
Is what I get. Why
I've never heard that at any kind of pitch for a campaign.
He's not an uppity person that takes it. Everything has to be clean and everything has to have a nice clean edge. He's just a regular guy. Sometimes
he's the old white man who wears his underwear 4 days in a row.
I guess, yeah.
I think it's funny that he goes to Trump country debunking the lies Trump tells. That's funny to me. And I think that the fact that they say he's able to connect with working class voters who are white specifically and of color.
Yeah.
Those two things don't go together. They're two totally different types of voters. Totally different.
I'm curious because I know it's a Rolling Stone article, but are they dictating this to Rolling Stone, and Rolling Stone is putting it in its own context? Because if you look at the first three, it sounds like you see certain parts of each profile. It seems to kind of reflect the same thing. It's things that jump out, like the rumpled clothes and white and of color, and
maybe
the other candidates is the same thing
in their writing by throwing something in there that's not positive. Solomon, what do you think about this $1.4 trillion expansion of the earned income tax credit?
Well, the first thing I look at is he said he wants to boost income. So basically, the only way that you, and apparently he said with Bernie Sanders, believe you can raise incomes is around tax season. That's it. because the earned income credit doesn't do anything for you 12 months out of the year. Yeah, like the whole year. It's only gonna come around during tax time. So it's basically just gonna be in the form of a one-time a one-time tax refund type thing. So I don't think that's a way to be trying to say, oh, I'm gonna boost incomes. Well, how are you gonna do that?
So
you're gonna expand the tax credit.
Is it safe to say that this 1.4 trillion doesn't cost the government any money because they're just giving you a discount, basically?
No, it does, because the expansion. You gotta look, because it takes away from it. No, because you gotta think about it like this: if it's an expansion of the tax credit, what tax credits do is they remove what the federal government takes in from tax income.
Yeah.
So if they expand the tax credit, basically the government's they're gonna have $1.4 trillion hypothetical that they can take in.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's an extremely large amount of money just to try to raise income through a one-time check.
Who does he talk? Who does he talk to get this figure? I mean,
Trump has already started the tax credit increase, so maybe he'll be going off of what he's already started to establish, I would think.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'll do the random skeptic at all. How are we going to pay for this $1.4 trillion expansion?
Where's the money coming from?
I'll be the cliche on that one. How are we going to pay for it? Because I mean, 1.4 trillion is not it's not a small number. It's not a small number.
Well, what bothers me, I think, the most out of this entire caption, as I look for my Turning Point USA free trade shirt, free government shirt, is he's a critic of free trade. That's what bothers me the most right there. He's very handsome. That's the only thing he's got going for him in this picture.
I'll take your word. The only thing that the free trade part that says unfettered was basically, I think he means unregulated free trade. Now, I don't know. Bernie Sanders is a little bit more extreme. Like the kind of the Democratic Socialists, they don't like free trade at all. But I am in somewhat of agreement that free trade does need to be checked to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, yes.
Correct. But just because of how they worded it, I'm not going to put him on the he's against capitalism type thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to say I'm going to take unfettered until we get more information as he doesn't.
He's above the two women, I think, in my book at least. He's
higher.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put him first right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I put him first, and then this is good. Now I called this when Beto O'Rourke lost. I called it saying that he was going to run. But how could he run when Ted Cruz won, which says a lot. But I actually watched Beto O'Rourke's Senate speeches when he was running, and Ted Cruz did not go to a lot of those speeches. But Beto O'Rourke, I will give this to him, is a good, relatable talker. Now, how much of it is bullshit, I don't know. But this man is so relatable when he's talking to people in a crowd. You forget who he is. It's like his mannerisms are very relaxed. He talks about his kids. He talks about how he had a family member relate to whatever you're saying. He doesn't have a Spanish accent, but he's Spanish. And then he looks white. He is the golden child, I think, of the Democratic race. And they really need to put him up, because even I thought about liking him until he started screw abortion.
Let's be clear. He has not a drop of Hispanic blood in him.
He said he's Spanish.
He lies. He's clearly Irish. He speaks Spanish, but he's not Spanish at all.
It says here that he's going to be on Oprah's show on the 5th of February of this year.
I was all for him until he started saying that he was so pro-abortion and yada yada, because I'm pro-abortion, but I think there needs to be limits on it, and he didn't really go into that. But he
you're pro. Wait, time. I thought you said you were. I thought you were pro-choice. Now, pro-choice and pro-abortion, that's two different things, right?
Is it two different things?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to say that.
All right, let me rephrase it. You know what I am? I don't like using the pro word. I'm pro having the option for an abortion. However, I think there should be regulations. I think there should be a cap on abortions per person. I think that abortions are too widely used in the minority community, and there needs to be less abortions in the minority community, because now it's just out of hand, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop that right there because we're gonna clear.
Yeah, I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going. I was thinking of something to say, and I'm like, nah. Let me back up from that one.
But you know what? Wow. I'm gonna leave it with I don't have to defend myself because Candace Owens got to change her mind. So screw both of you.
I'm not saying that. We're talking about Beto. Continue.
Beto, yeah. So he talked a lot about core issues in all of his speeches. He lost, which is the biggest thing. So I don't know if people would necessarily vote for him again because they probably would feel like their vote didn't count the first time.
I think he has a lot of support outside of Texas, so I believe he would
does.
He would be. I don't want to use the word for. I put it to you like this: if he could set up a more moderate platform, because he started to kind of jump on the bandwagon of Medicare for all and all that other type of stuff. Because at first he wasn't talking like that, but if he runs a more down the middle, he could give Trump problems in 2020.
Oh, he could.
Because, he's not. Like I said, I'll give you the relatable part. Him being fluent in Spanish helps. He's younger. All those different types of things. He definitely has
right on the border.
Yeah, he has the support of definitely all the Hollywood elites. The entertainment industry would all be behind him. Pretty much everybody. Any type of, all the major mainstream media would be all behind him if he ran. So I think I would now put him as the number one contender as far as
just when you watch him, it makes me want to have a beer with him. It does. He just has that personality. You're like, I could hang out with this guy. Like, I like this guy.
No, but he definitely doesn't come off like Kamala Harris did doing the one nation under a groove. Right. Like he seems like he's a little bit more genuine as long as he's not kind of yelling. When he starts to get emotional, that's when he kind of starts to lose me. But as long as he's kind of this like regular talking guy, he's bearable. I put it like that.
But does he have good political strength? Educationally speaking, does he? He's like Naomi said, he's a guy that you can sit across and have a beer with and that kind of thing. He already has that delivery that can draw you and give you a sense of trust and a sense of believe my platform kind of thing. But I really don't know much about him as far as his political standpoints are concerned.
Honestly, he didn't I think the three things I've heard him speaking, and I've listened for like the hours long that he was talking. He didn't really touch too much on his background, like as far as being qualified, because people were asking him, do you think you'll run for president? And he said no. He kept saying no. He wanted to spend time with his family. And that if something changed, maybe. But he was pretty adamant on saying he wouldn't run. So this is kind of shocking. I'm curious to see what he says on Oprah.
Right, but see, the one thing about Beto, though, I just say on the last thing is he's dangerous because he's younger, and honestly, all that platform stuff doesn't honestly matter. It's only about are you likable at this point, and can you beat Trump? Yeah. So, I don't really think it's platform, and I understand, Tommy, you wouldn't want to know, but does the
I want more in depth, especially being older than a candidate like him.
How old is he? He's 40.
46.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, so he definitely has the quote unquote, I don't know how this worked, but the white Obama feel is what he was described as, a white Obama. Yeah, however that works, but continue. I'm not gonna touch that.
Right, next up, Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden might be number one, but his age brings him down. I feel like
I agree 100%.
Love Joe Biden on Twitter. He is invited to all the Black cookouts on Black Twitter, on Black Instagram. He constantly throws shade, and people love Joe Biden. Ex-VP Delaware Senator, it says his biggest challenge as a 76-year-old is connecting with a new generation of activists and voters, which I think he's done because of Obama. Doing himself no favors, Biden dismissed struggles of millennials. That is to say, voting age Americans under 40 in an interview with the Los Angeles Times. Playing up the civil rights struggles, the Vietnam War, and the Kent State massacre of his young adulthood, Biden said, quote, the younger generation now tells me how tough things are. Give me a break. No, I have no empathy for it. Give me a break. Quote, Biden is partly responsible for the woes of the kids these days, helping pass a 2005 bill under George W. Bush that makes it nearly impossible to discharge student debt through bankruptcy. Still, Biden offers an appealing narrative, a reset from the Trump catastrophe, and he benefits from a potent combo of experience, name ID, and a populist touch that resonates in the industrial Midwest. Interesting. I had no idea that he helped discharge helped make it impossible to discharge a student's debt through bankruptcy. Because, man, that would be something if you could do that. I think that this article is not up to date as far as Biden goes, because when I look on Instagram, all I see is Biden memes. Young black people love Joe Biden. I don't think they can tell you one thing about his politics, but they love Joe Biden.
Right. Because of the association with Obama. I think they just married the two together.
They did.
And when you see, Biden and Obama, so they just, it's by association.
And
of course.
I hate to bring up his age, but Trump is the same age. Biden just gives me older feels than Trump.
Well, Trump is 71 though, right?
Is he? I think he's in his 70s.
He's not 70. Yeah, but he's not 76 though. I want to say he's either 70s.
Well, he's in his 70s, so it's the same thing. They're both in their 70s. I mean.
Yeah, but I guess we're talking about starting something versus already there. I think they kind of but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Trump was in his 60s when he got elected. So I believe he's only 71 now, 72.
Okay. Well, he'll be like 80, so that says a lot.
Well, that's a real stark contrast from
right, because you got to look at it take Trump for example. When he got elected, I think he was either 68 or 69. When Joe Biden gets in office, he will be 78. So when he gets out of office, he does all 4 years. That's 82. That's a little different way to look at it. But I think Joe Biden, like I said, he just has the appeal from the Obama. And I saw a meme the other day. It was so ridiculous. It said, do you realize that Joe Biden could run for president and make Obama his vice president? And it's perfectly legal. That same meme. I'm just like,
people are idiots, and this is where we go back to the idiot black voters. And I don't want to be racist by saying that, but when I say idiot black voters, I say the young generation of black people who love hip hop music, who love urban culture, and they don't really care about politics, but they see these things on social media, like what Solomon just said, and they run with it without doing any research. For them to think that would actually be a thing blows my mind. It really does. Because Obama has said numerous times he'll never go back to the White House. So it just blows my mind. And I'm quite frankly, I'm shocked that Michelle Obama's not going to go ahead and try. But next up, the people's champ, who I honestly think could win this election. Because
I agree.
After he lost, so many people said, oh my God, we should have voted for Sanders. Oh my God, the weed we could have. The weed. And then and Bernie did interviews. He was like, told you guys. Told you. People love Bernie Sanders, but he's old. He's 77.
Well, as the statement is shown, what is this sexual harassment thing going on with him? What allegations? It's what everybody pretty much
looking at days, this man, he didn't sexually harass a thing. They're just trying to bring this old guy down. So it says, when allegations of sexual harassment and unequal pay from his 2016 campaign surfaced in 2 weeks, Sanders stumbled, suggesting he'd been too busy campaigning to know about or police the misbehavior. So I guess it occurred during his campaign, but it wasn't him. It probably occurred on the trail, which he shouldn't be responsible for, because I'm sure they were all adults. No? Am I wrong?
Oh, no. I wouldn't put that on Bernie. I mean, I
don't know why they wrote that like that.
To blame the Bernie people, it's like, you might as well, you can't defend the Michael Cohens and the other people as well. Like, I'm not gonna blame him for something that his people in his campaign
that he can't be there.
He can't control. Correct. He's not their babysitter.
It says Sanders takes a hit in our rankings, which is shocking, but the 2016 campaign still gives him advantages, including a prodigious nationwide grassroots network that backed him with $228 million. This machine began gearing up in mid-January with more than 400 house parties across the 50 states on Bernie to join the 2020 fray. Sanders
Nice.
will no longer have the left lane to himself, instead jockeying in a field of progressives who have embraced his proposals. But the Democratic Socialist has shown he can be pretty nimble for a 77-year-old, yoking himself to the useful insurgency embodied by Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This is where I think brings him down. She's an idiot. And it's funny because I have some pretty intellectual women who are in power on my Instagram as followers, and they love this airhead. And I think that a lot of people love Bernie, but a lot of people don't like her. They don't.
Well, I say a lot of people on the right. I think a lot of people on the left love her though.
No, I met some people who are Democrats that still don't like her and they think she's an idiot.
Yeah, but I mean, I put it to you like this: if you always want to know how someone I would say check the CNN and the MSNBC filter. If they're talking bad about her, then yeah, because clearly what's the new thing she said? I'm going to run a train on the progressive agenda, and that apparently has all conservatives talking. But it hasn't even made CNN, MSNBC. Nobody's really talking about it. If they didn't like her, they would have talked about that because
if
clearly,
I ever ran for something, I know what not to say now because I have a mouth like this girl has a mouth. But even I'm not that dumb to be saying stuff like that.
yeah, run a train on a progressive agenda is just all bad.
Now just gang bang the agenda. Like
yeah. It's not a good look, but I think Bernie, I mean, like I said, it's funny to me that the oldest person in the entire race is the most relatable to young people, apparently.
it's
crazy. He's going to be 79 if he got inaugurated. The 80-year-old guy, that's the guy you relate to.
I think Bernie, and everybody loves a grandpa. Like, I think
that's true. But who has been our oldest president to date out of all of the 46 presidents that's been out? Who's been the oldest ever elected to office or ever run for office for that matter?
Is he?
That's what goes. Is it Trump?
It might be Trump, right?
Might be Trump, yeah. Possibly.
I don't know. I like Bernie. I honestly like a lot of his. I think when I first learned about Bernie Sanders, a lot of his policies seemed libertarian at first, but that quickly changed, and he went full force hippie. So I think he's a good contender. I think a lot of people vote for him. I think they would vote for him over Beto O'Rourke for sure. But Beto O'Rourke has the immigrant vote.
Oh, I was wrong. Yeah, it was Donald Trump. He was 70.
Trump, right?
Yeah, you're right. He's 70. Yeah, so he's only 2 years younger than what's his name? He's 70.
I think it would be in this order. I hate to say it, but I think Bernie Sanders has the young vote. It's fair to give him that. I think he has the young vote all across the racial spectrum. Bernie's got the young vote. He's got the drug user vote. I hate to say it like that, but he does. I see a lot of celebrities who advocate for.
Can we say he has the weed smoker? Let's not use drug user. Yeah, can we say weed smoker?
Fine.
Or hotheads or the hippie vote? Yeah, I
would say, if you let me finish, I was saying a lot of people advocate for weed for cancer, and they really stand behind him. So he has the weed vote essentially, but it's still a drug. So it's a drug.
Yeah, but drug. That seems like the junkie vote. They're like, no.
I feel like he probably does have the junkie vote also. But
but nobody's trying to appeal to the junkie vote now.
Are you serious? They're definitely appealing to the convicted criminal vote down there in Florida. So I think they are.
We talked about that, didn't we?
You can't compare junkies and criminals.
Actually you can. I think they have a common thread that runs through them.
Nobody tries to get the junkie vote. Stop this line of questioning.
And this is funny. No, you say no one tries to get the junkie vote. This years ago, I'm pretty sure someone said no one's ever going to try to get those damn convict votes.
Yeah.
Look at them now on their way voting. Look at them.
Yep.
Going to vote.
But time out. Convicts can be woke and they can be white collar people as well. So we can't necessarily just.
They sure can. But then they could be.
But so can junkies be white collar? I think some of the best soap around.
But I think the term junkie is almost like the N-word of drug users.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It is, man. It is.
The politically correct, what is it called?
That's true.
Wait, time on. I have a friend, he smokes weed. I have a friend, he's a junkie. It comes off as completely different. You know what I mean? I have a friend who drinks a couple of beers every now and then. I have a friend who's an alcoholic. It's a bit of a stretch. You know what I mean?
I wonder how many millennials know what the term is. It's such an old term, junkies.
I don't know where
some of them may not even know what that term means or what they can relate it to.
No. I'm gonna tell you, Chappelle messed up junkie for me. All I see when you say the junkie, I see the dude with the white stuff around his lip. So
I have that. Yeah.
I see them. Go ahead.
When I said junkie, what I was thinking of, because I know a lot of strippers that like Bernie Sanders. I was thinking of the pill poppers who got to take 15 perks to get through the night. That's who I was thinking. That's a junkie, and that's who I was thinking about. But they don't call them junkies no more. They just say they like Future and they drink lean and get high, whatever.
I got you.
That's what I was referring to. So he has the substance user.
There you go.
The addict. He has the addict. Let's put it in the right context. He has the addict's vote.
For sure, the addict vote.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
See, that's better.
So that covers a large range of addictions. Yeah.
Beto O'Rourke has the minority immigrant. He has the immigrant vote. Immigrants love him. He has the immigrant vote, and then Kamala Harris has the black woman vote, right?
Absolutely.
Who else? Who are we missing here?
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth
Warren has a Native American vote.
Or just the white woman vote.
The white woman, white person vote.
Yeah.
I would say middle-aged, older white women. I don't think young white women are gonna like her.
I think she has. If you have a pair of mom jeans, you're voting for.
You're
Elizabeth.
gonna like her.
Yeah.
Or if you like to treat your man like a woman, you'd like her.
Yeah. The dominant woman. Yeah.
She has the beta.
The dominatrix.
Yeah, she has the beta husband. I don't mind putting on an apron and cleaning my house.
Yeah, the dominate sort of these dominatrix type thing.
We're reversing gender norms.
They're gonna vote for her. And then let's see, who else are we missing? The guy Sherrod Brown. Who votes for Sherrod Brown? Ugh, he's apparently tacky looking. Is what Rolling Stone called him. Without saying, I gotta pull up pictures of how he looks regularly.
Midwest liberals, I guess. Yeah, Midwest liberals who probably work in like factories and stuff like that. He has the liberal heartland vote, is what I would.
And then Joe Biden has the black vote.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I guess
of both genders. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, both genders. Yeah. So I guess it comes down to what what category votes the most. Because it's record breaking that black people don't vote as much as the other categories we just listed.
But I think, but you think if it's Biden or Harris, it's Biden, right? For black people?
No, the women are angry. They're feminine now.
Wait, time out. You think when we could have a sniff of Obama again, you think they would go to Kamala Harris over Biden?
Who, the Caucasians? You think
the black vote? I'm talking about black people. I think black people would take Biden over Harris because we get to reminisce on having Obama in the office again.
You're right. I agree. But
I think that black people are going to fall into her free college. This
wait,
Medicare,
but her husband's white though. That's not. They're not.
White?
Yes, her husband's white.
Oh,
so
really?
Black people don't.
Wow.
Yeah, right. My bad. I thought we knew that. So yeah, no.
No, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, her husband.
Does she have kids? Are they mulatto?
No, I don't know. But you got to remember, she's been married before, and the second husband that he had is he's white, but apparently he had some
black.
No, I don't think so.
So she never dated a black guy. That could really.
Well, we can't say dated, but I don't think her first husband was black either. But you can Google it. But see, the thing was, there's some controversy over it because apparently, I believe her current husband left his ex-wife to be with her, so it was kind of like some trifling.
So she's a home wrecker.
That's the. I'll put it like this before we start.
That's the perception. Yeah.
That's the perception.
Wow, she's got a white husband.
Yeah. It's no. He's no Channing Tatum, or he's not the John B. Cool white.
Dad pants white.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Wonder why he's not the Channing Tatum, the John B. She's with the cool white. No.
No, she's with the white.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's important we put the husband on the screen. Hold on.
Please do.
Can you find it? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see if you can find her ex-husband too.
Do we see him?
Wow.
White.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're talking about CBS executive white.
Yeah.
Now I see why you made that Channing Tatum statement. I'm like, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he looks like. I mean, no, seriously.
Wow.
He looks like a network executive.
Yeah.
He does look like a network executive.
Right.
And then this is what I'm trying to say. So then, if you like, look, I don't know, but see the other thing. But the other thing you got to remember is though, and this is the one thing that she talks about, and I totally disagree. First of all, with her one statement that she made on that video is the real HU is not Howard, but we're not gonna get into that. Second of all, she did go to Howard, which she calls the Mecca. So
why didn't she date a black man?
There isn't a lot. I'm just gonna say, like, I went to Hampton. There's not a lot of white people running around the campus. So
well, obviously she didn't meet him there.
So she met outside of those.
Well, see, okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, like, go ahead.
Remember when I said when I was looking her up, she doesn't really have family pictures. She doesn't look like a family woman. Now it makes sense because she's a homewrecker, and then he's white. It brings her down to have him in a lot of her pictures.
But does she have kids?
No kids are coming up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would investigate that.
Kids, it's gonna help her. Like that guy.
Right.
Michigan, the guy who's running for senator, the black guy with the white wife with the cute kids, that worked. But it's different, and I hate to be like stereotypical when you have a mixed race family and the mother is black.
Well, what's funny is in her statement that you read earlier when she said advantage in a field chock full of white men, and she has a white husband.
White husband.
Yeah.
And that's going to come back to bite her.
They're going to, all the pro-black feminists, Black Lives Matter people are going to rain down on her. You love black people so much and you want to advocate for us, but you're with a white man. How dare you sleep with the devil? You know, so you can't be out here in these streets saying, fuck the white man, but you're fucking me.
Right. And then good thing, Solomon, to bring that up because I had no idea that her mate was Caucasian. No idea. Well, especially for what we've read on her profile.
Again, and like I always say, once again, we have to be clear. We don't care the color of the race of someone you date. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. But the problem comes in if I'm out here screaming, white man is the devil, I'm in a whole bunch of race with a whole bunch of white men, then it's like you look to your right and you're like, who's that white guy? Oh, that's my husband. Oh, wait a minute. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, time out. That's when it becomes a problem. The people who date white women and then I sit here talking about white supremacy and racism and this is everything come out your mouth is white nationalism, white supremacy.
Well, let's use Sean King.
Yeah, we can't do it.
Let's use Sean King as a example here because him and a couple people have been going at it online on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen it, Solomon. It's been crazy. Sean King has been a big advocate for black people. Come to find out, he's not black at all, allegedly. Now, Uncle Tommy, you can relate to this. I think about cousin Nate, Uncle Tommy, when I'm talking about. So basically, my uncle married a white woman, lovely woman. I love her, my favorite aunt. And they had kids. The kids look white, right? And if you've seen a picture of my daughter as a child, she looks like a white baby. Gia used to look like a sandy blonde hair white baby. She got older and, her looks changed. Same thing with my cousin. He got older. He started looking more black,
Well, Nate, with him, he chose, Nate was on a fence because he's going to a high-end school. He went to Lower Merion and just quickly to interject, he didn't really know which side of the fence he stood on because his father wanted him to stand on really the white side of the fence. I've lived with him and I knew that personally, but Nate had other avenues that he gravitated towards. So it was confusing time for him, because he looked like the average white guy. And then next thing you know, he didn't know which way. It's almost like for a while he didn't know which way to balance himself. And I think a lot of like the Sean King and a lot of these guys, some of them may have.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. My cousin Nate had a black father who was very light. This man has both white parents, and he's a pro-black advocate. But it goes back to what we were saying about Kamala Harris. You can't constantly bring down the oppressor if you are the
Right.
oppressed or if you are the oppressor. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, it doesn't work. It's very hypocritical. And now this
Mhm.
man, his heart might have been in the right place, but this man is being attacked because they're calling him a fraud, saying he fakes being black. He got Jerry curls when he was younger to tighten his hair up, and you know he was fake doing all this stuff. And who is he? Claims he's black, y'all. He's black, y'all. He's blackety blackety black. He's black. Like,
Well, to quote Malcolm X, he always said that even though you have these individuals who are in the right places, but you still reap the benefits of being the
he's a
white
civil
person.
rights activist.
Right.
So he's
Right.
another Rachel Doza. There we go.
Right.
Those,
Yeah, he is. And it's sad that I think that, I hate to say it, but with identity politics being such a key player now, they're gonna do this to Kamala Harris if she's not careful. This is how I hate to say it, but this is how the Republican Party is gonna attack her. It is.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
as much as people want to talk about the Republican Party, they don't come out and say black, black, black when they're talking about things. It's a Democratic thing to say. Like Kamala Harris said something specifically like the white man, right? Black women will be this. The Republicans, if they say that, they're deemed a racist party. So I think it's just funny how Democrats are already, we're not even at the election, leading with the race card, and the Republicans still aren't doing that. They're not.
Because you're going to have most of your following for the Democratic Party be people of color. So they want to kind of solidify that and even strengthen in some
They
avenues.
need to tap John James. That would change the game. They need to tap him. They're not going to do it because he didn't win, right? He lost, right, Solomon?
He did.
Yeah. So what? Beto O'Rourke lost.
Whitest, and shame on you, Detroit, because y'all voted the whitest lady in office that I've ever seen.
And Beto O'Rourke lost, and he's running. So I think John James, if the Republicans really want to like get Trump to back somebody, and they really want to stay in, they'll tap John James. There's no other black candidate that's got everything like this man has.
Well, they could tap. There was another guy that ran named Jeff Dove. They could tap him, but he ran in Virginia for Congress, and there was another black guy, I believe, that ran in New Hampshire.
Do they have white wives?
The one in New Hampshire does. The one in Virginia, I believe, is unmarried. So he's like
unmarried's not going to win. I wouldn't vote for him.
Well, you got Tim Scott that made it, so
you're not going to vote in a single president. It hasn't been a single
president.
Oh,
my bad. I didn't know you. I didn't know you were talking about president right now. I thought you were just talking about like.
No, we're talking about 2020 options to combat their.
So if Trump doesn't run, right?
If Trump doesn't run, yeah. If Trump doesn't run.
Do you think Trump will run?
He said I believe I remember him saying he would, and then he wouldn't.
Yeah, I just be honest with you. The best opportunity to me for Republicans at this point would be Mike Pence. That's the only thing that's the only way you gotta go. I mean, I'm just saying, you already got the Trump Pence connection. You just need to find a Pence and somebody in the Republican Party who's not the worst.
Pence is not a leader. He's a follower. He's not gonna work.
Okay, well then, who we got? We got Kennedy. Lindsey Graham's not gonna make it.
We still got what you call it, Marcus Rubio. Why is he? Rubio
has totally lost. I think the conservative. I think he's lost his conservative thing because he's come off to me as being like a punk.
Yeah,
I think Rubio. He's kind of like been the whiner, and he's kind of jumped. I put it to you like this:
Ted Cruz is a pussy now too because he let them talk shit about his family, and then he kissed ass after.
Yeah, I put it to you like this: if anytime you're a Republican and CNN and stuff are using you as somebody on the right, even says this is blah 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 blah, then yeah, you're never going to be able to make it. You know what I'm saying?
I think next week. Thursday it'll be Republican candidates because we talked about Kanye. We were joking around about it, but I think I want to see who we have. I really do because I think it's time for a black interracial Republican family to be in the White House.
Ooh, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, that's
I don't. I mean,
that.
don't get me wrong. John James has the background and everything else, the
Oh, he's
military,
perfect.
Right.
the black family, the everything that he has.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For some reason, I think we're
Not
okay
ready.
with all black. I think
Yeah.
we're okay with all white. I don't know if we're ready for mixed yet. Even though we keep talking, even though we keep talking about how much we progressed, I don't know if we're ready for that
And
yet
it's
in the
funny.
White House.
It's funny because this is the same conversation we had when Obama was running. They kept saying, are we ready for a black president or a female? Remember? So now it's going to be that thing again. If he does get tapped, which they'd be dumb not to, if he gets tapped, it'll be, do we want a woman or do we want a mixed race family? And I'm still one of those people who don't want a woman president. I hate to say it. Like all the feminists are going to attack me, but I don't really
Well,
care.
why would you not want a woman president? I mean,
All the women candidates are shit.
oh, okay.
That's
The
my sole
policies.
reason.
I put you
All
like
right.
this. I think worldwide we've had some pretty decent women prime ministers in certain countries.
Oh,
But
yeah.
at the same
Yeah.
time, let's not just. I mean, my thing is like this: when it comes to anything, you don't want it just to be just because.
Yep.
Right.
It's a woman, but
Right.
she's terrible. It's a black dude, but he's terrible. I'm not talking about Obama. Just saying.
Let's not half-ass
It's a
it.
Hispanic. Yes, a Hispanic dude. Oh, he's Hispanic, but he sucks. Okay, but guess what?
Right.
We made history. Hooray! No, it's like
Right.
we need to get
I
to the
agree.
point where
You need a qualified candidate regardless.
And
And but the
women
sad
are
part is
ostracized if they're not
Yeah.
on their job. So we got to
Right.
come correct if we're going to have a female in there because they're going to nitpick words. The media is going to tear her apart. The minute she makes one wrong presidential move, they're going to say she's on her period or like she's having mood swings. You know what I mean?
Gillibrand. I know she wasn't in your top 6, but remember Gillibrand just announced as well, and she's
Yeah,
supposed to be
she's
a
on there,
moderate
yeah.
from
Is she
New
on there?
York.
She's at the
Yeah,
bottom
no,
of the
she's
list.
not. I mean,
She's
but
in the
she's
list.
I
Yeah.
put it like that, but the one thing about Gillibrand is she's a moderate, she's a former lawyer, and she is smart, and
See,
she's not.
Mhm.
And she's not far left, and I don't think she's for Medicare for all and all that other stuff.
let me pull her up. I think that's important to bring
I'm
up.
looking forward to. I thought
Yeah.
she was in the list. Or
Yeah, I want to
on
say
this list. I thought she was.
Gillibrand calls herself a moderate, so she's not. I don't think she's about all that. You know, she's.
Kirsten Gillibrand, American attorney, politician, serving as the junior United States Senator from New York. Okay, she's from New York, so she's probably got swag. She previously held the position of U.S. Representative for New York's 20th Congressional District. Let's see.
Is there a photo of her?
Yeah, she's all right. She's white.
Man, she's in her 50s, I believe. Yeah, she's in her 50s.
Yeah.
She has 2 kids, and she wants to abolish ICE.
Yeah, Christian Gillibrand. Yeah, I knew she was.
She calls
seventh on the
herself a
list.
young mom at 52. That's a stretch.
Yeah.
Here, fight for old other people's kids as hard as I would fight for my own.
I like that.
When she was on Stephen Colbert in this January, this month.
I think
Me
the
Too
abolish.
movement.
I think the abolish ICE was like a big kind of sanctuary city thing. So I'm not really. I don't know if she would still keep that in there for now. She could, but what I'm saying is the abolish ICE stuff was all the New York politicians pretty much came out with that, and all the like California people kind of started coming out that as well. It wasn't just like a middle of the road type of Democratic thing.
Okay, so this is what they say about her. Listen to this on Wikipedia. They call her a hybrid politician who has remained conservative enough to keep her seat in a right-wing rural district while appearing progressive enough to raise money downstate. She's a fiscally conservative Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, if she gets on the ballot, she's dangerous because now you can say, well, she's. I mean, let's be honest.
That's the women.
Now, if I put it like this, and I'll just be honest, if she was the first woman president, if she doesn't have the Hillary vibe, she doesn't have all the rest of that stuff to go along with it, she would be, to me, a solid female president at this point that we stand right now. I'm not saying I want her to win. I'm not saying anything else. I'm saying Kirsten Gillibrand has the pedigree, and she doesn't have so far all of that baggage that a Kamala Harris had with trying to, her doing the stuff.
Well, Rolling Stone says here that Gillibrand 52 is the East Coast answer to Kamala Harris for some of the same challenges.
Yeah.
And she could tap New York money, but lacks a coast-to-coast profile.
She seems more conservative than Kamala Harris too, but that would
very much so.
We're at a state now where Republicans don't want to be Republican right now. And a lot of people don't want to be a Republican right now. People who are Republican are not going to vote Republican this upcoming election. So that would be who they would vote for. She would get the conservative.
Right. She's the next best thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that will work out. I mean, honestly,
but she's still a female, so you know, you're looking at all of the Senate and all of those.
But
will they be comfortable with it?
Right. But the one thing I'll say about her real quick, Tommy, is and it's one thing that I do kind of like about her. She doesn't have that annoying. She's not annoying. I'll put it to you like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like she doesn't have that like in the back.
Just have to dress right.
Yeah, in the back of my oh God, it's like Kamala Harris is about to say something. Oh, it's like, oh God, here we go. Elizabeth Warren is about to make a speech. Oh God, here we go. You know what I'm saying? But it's like with Kirsten Gillibrand, it's like, okay, what does she have to say? You know what I mean? It's not like she doesn't have like that bad. She hasn't done anything to this point to leave that bad taste in your mouth from the Democrat side.
I think she might be. I would have to do more research into her, but she might be a good Democratic candidate. Because I feel like people should know their options. You know, I don't want to be advocating vote Republican. This isn't that type of vibe.
Right, but she announced on Colbert, so that was like 2 days.
Yeah.
That's really
so here she called out President Bill Clinton and pushing for Al Franken to resign from the Senate.
I gotta do some research on her.
I mean, you calling for him to resign. I mean, I'm just saying, like you might try to start looking for the. I mean. The fact she's not a Republican, a whole bunch of conservatives aren't going to like it. But what I'm saying is you have to go ahead and start lining people up, and you want to be able to vote for people based on merit. And what I'm saying is, so far, based on merit,
got the best merit.
She hasn't done those, like I said, she hasn't gone to the extreme pandering. She hasn't gone to the, let's make this free, and let's do this free, and let's do this. Because like you said, she's still fiscally conservative. So she is going to be, and I hate to say it, one of the better, if a Democrat was to win, you probably wanted to be Gillibrand to not experience the quote unquote, you know how they say the changing of America. Yeah. I don't feel like it would just be like this Bernie Sanders like change.
And I hate to say it, but when you say, people don't think about this. I learned this in that Being Roger Stone on Netflix documentary. He said marketing is the number one. When you hear that name, Gillibrand, it sticks. I don't know what it is about that name. It's like you remember it. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but that's a catchy name that people will remember. Even if they don't know who she is and they keep hearing her name on the news or whatever, once they go to the polls, Gillibrand's going to stick out. It's a very distinct name. And people don't recognize that those little marketing tactics, they really matter in politics. That's why they do so much campaigning on TV with those stupid ads. But I'm curious to see what
some are comical, but I'm
curious to see what hit ads are going to come out, because it seems like everybody's announcing in February who hasn't announced already. So I'm curious to see what they're going to start saying now that people know who the top 10 are. And
and I would just say this, and I know it's not going to happen because it's not politics, but the best move the Democrats can make right now is to self-promote themselves and stay away from trying to make the other candidates look bad. Because if they could somehow just self-promote, I honestly think that 2020, but you know it's going to be that. So all of a sudden we're going to start to find all this dirt. Like I said, all the stuff about Kamala Harris being a homewrecker, that's all that stuff's going to come out. And you just like I said, all the Joe Biden stuff with him sniffing people's hair and doing all that kind of creepy stuff, all of it's going to be pushed to the forefront. So it's like if you didn't know it, or if you might have said, oh, it might be something about Kirsten Gillibrand that comes out, we're like, well, damn, she seemed good until here comes all the crap. You know what I mean? So
well, it's going to happen anyway when they go toe to toe, when they get in their public forums, and you're going to have someone mediate that, and they're going to have challenges against each other in the government. Some of the personal attacks are going. It won't be as blatant as the ads are, and it's ridiculous with the theme music that they add to it and make it cartoonish or whatever it is. But when we watch them on CNN or whatever platform, when they challenge each other, when the parties go at each other, you'll see some of that personality or some of the flaws be mentioned, but not as openly blatant and attacking. But it'll be out there.
Well, I'm gonna end this show with saying it's 2019, and I think that given that this year is going to be crucial for 2020. It is. We're gonna have so
Absolutely.
many events going on with these candidates that we need to be at. I'm gonna try to get us, all three of us, to at least 2 events this year by September that we can attend for the candidates, because we need to be there before they go into full-blown election mode. We need to see them speak. We need to be able to compare. And I'm not just talking about the Republican side, because I think it's important that we touch on the Democratic side, because people don't believe how aggressive they are and just they almost slander the Republicans. You know what I mean? And a lot of these people don't go to these Democratic, what would they be called? Rallies, right? They don't go to Democratic rallies. So I'd be curious to go to a Democratic rally and then to the Republican rally and really just sit from our perspectives and share with the world, like from a normal conservative perspective, what we think happens there. So I think I'm going to try to do that.
Do we just plan on going to the DNC this year?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Can we afford it? Can we afford a room?
Hey, I mean, well, yeah, depending on where they have it, yeah. We need to see the location.
We might have to book that now. Like, book the room.
We are now seeking sponsors, Republican Party, Libertarians. We are now seeking sponsors to go and get a report.
Well, hopefully, if this new situation works out, we will be there, front and center.
Awesome.
Sounds like a plan.
With new cameras, everybody gets an expensive camera. Yeah.
I'm ready for my green screen.
It looks tacky. I like the white background.
I like the green screen. I'm sorry.
So ghetto.
I'm sorry. I enjoyed his background. I thought it looked very nice. Thank you.
I hated it. It looks so ghetto.
Well, that probably
would bring the quality down. Did you watch Leo Dunson's video with Solomon on Monday, Tommy?
No, I didn't see it. No.
Well, you should look at it and look at how.
Yeah, I can look at it though. I see it pop up when I am.
His background is.
Look at his background. Tell me the background doesn't look super. We can do better. We're better than that. We don't need a fake flag. All right.
It's a fake flag.
You guys, on Monday, Solomon, do you know what Monday's show is going to be about?
Yeah, it's going to be basically what happened to the Black family.
What happened to the Black family, and then Thursday.
Wow, that's a good topic.
That's a good topic.
Oh, and
I see the flag with the Bible.
Oh, and the Wokish podcast will be joining us as well.
The Wokish, with the women, the two girls.
Two women from the Wokish podcast will be joining me to talk.
Are they conservative or are they liberal?
I don't think so. I believe they're either. I know they're not conservative.
Okay, I'm gonna tune in then. So tune in Monday at 8 o'clock.
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern, the Wokish podcast and 2 African American women. Uncle Tommy, turn the music down.
I'm sorry, I was looking.
Tune in Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern with the Wokish podcast. They're going to be live on the Aftermath with Saul G. And then Thursday at 8 with me, 50 Shades of Red at night. We're going to be talking about Republican top candidates. All right, thanks for joining us. And leave a comment if you think that Solomon should go ahead with the stupid ass green screen. And just let me know if it's worth it.
All right, bye.